Hi everyone, this is Miles Morgan de Salta, or you may call me Sir Miles. And for today's recorded video discussion, we're going to discuss the lesson 3 entitled The Statement of Changes in Equity, or also known as the SCE. So before that, let me tell you the objective of this lesson. First, you need to prepare an SCE or Statement of Changes in Equity for single proprietorship. Next is to define the different form of business organization, and last, differentiate the initial investment from the additional investment and define withdrawals. Okay, so yan po yung magiging focus natin for today's recorded video discussion. So now, let's proceed to the starter. Okay, so you need to compute your personal equity. So paano natin makukompute yung personal equity natin? First, you need to get one piece of sheet of paper or any kind of paper. Okay, then write your assets. So when we say asset, anything that you own. Okay, yung mga gamit na meron kayo, mga pera, mga resources that you own. Okay, next, after that, you need to write your liabilities. When we say liabilities, ito yung mga utang natin or hiniram natin pera from our friends, from family members, parents, and etc. Okay? After that, you need to deduct the liabilities from your assets. Then, with the net amount computed is designated as equity. So, makukuha na po natin yung net income or yung net personal equity natin once we deduct the liabilities to the asset. Okay? So now let's proceed to the first topic, which is what is statement of changes in equity. So when we say SCE, okay, and all changes, whether the increase or decrease of to the owner's interest in the company during the period are reported here. So dito sa statement of changes in equity, nakafocus po siya sa pag-increase or pag-decrease ng equity ng isang owner ng isang negosyo. Okay, lahat po ng report about owner's equity is nakalagay po sa statement of changes in equity. So this statement is prepared prior to the preparation of the statement of financial position, so to be able to obtain the ending balance of the equity to be used in the SFP. So before natin makuha or gumawa ng statement of financial position, the first thing that we need to do is to determine first or to have a statement of changes in equity, because yung sa SFP po na mga details is manggagaling po, or some details ay manggagaling sa statement of changes in equity. Okay? Kasi yung ending balance that we are needing in SFP is from the statement of changes in equity. So now, let's proceed to the different form of business organization. So the first form of business organization that's very popular is the sole proprietorship. So when we say sole proprietorship, the business is owned and operated by one individual. Ibig sabihin, isang tao lang po ang nagmamay-ari at nag-ooperate ng isang negosyo. Okay, so yung owner po has the full authority over the business and owns all assets and profit, but at the same time, it is personal liable for the obligation and the losses. So dito po sa sole proprietorship, we have pros and cons. Isa sa pros is that you have the full authority about your business. Okay, whatever you want to do, pwede mong gawin. Wala kang iisipin na iba na tao na mag-a-agree sa'yo or hindi mag-a-agree sa'yo. But then, yung cons naman dito sa sole proprietorship, kapag hindi maganda yung takbo ng isang negosyo at nagkakaroon tayo ng mga losses, you are the only one who is liable about the losses. Okay? So lahat mga dapat na bayaran or liabilities from the business ay ikaw lang dapat ang magbabayad, because there's no other person which is connected as an owner to your business. Okay, so it is personal liable for all obligations and losses. And sole proprietorship is the simplest form of business organization and is the easiest to register through the Bureau of Trade Regulation and Consumer Protection, which is the BTRCP of the Department of Trade and Industry. So sinabi po dito sa sole proprietorship, ito po yung pinakasimple at pinakamadaling ma-register because of course, since solo lang naman ikaw, okay, you're the only one, you don't need to get the opinion of other people about your business. So kung ano yung nasa isip mo, kung ano yung gusto mong gawin sa negosyo, pwede mong gawin, kaya nasabi siyang simplest, okay? And aside from that, it is easier to register from other forms of business organization kasi kung gusto mo ma-register siya as a business and as a sole proprietor, ilalagay mo lang siya or isasend mo lang siya sa DTI. Okay, then pwede na natin ma-register yung business natin na kung saan ikaw lang yung nag-aari nung negosyo na yon. Aside from sole proprietorship, we have another form of business organization, which is the partnership. So when we say partnership, this is two or more persons that is bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund to divide a profit and share the liabilities among themselves. So dito class, sa partnership, kaya nga natawag na partnership, ibig sabihin dalawa or mahigit sa dalawa kayo na magtutulong-tulong para makabuo ng isang organization or makabuo ng isang business. So these person or your partners can contribute through money, property, and industry. Okay? For example, ako, makontribute ako ng pera, then my other partner want to contribute their property, then pwede po yun dito sa partnership. So it's up to you class kung ano yung pagiging paraan nyo na paghati-hati ng profit and losses dito sa partnership as long as nagkakaintindihan and nag-agree yung both partners. Okay? So the partnership is registered with the Security and Exchange Commission or the SEC. And the most common partnership are the professional partnerships such as the law firms and accounting firms. So dito, para ma-register siya, we need to register it to the SEC or the Securities and Exchange Commission. And the usual partnership happened in business sectors is the law firms and accounting firms. So dito, they combine their money, they combine their property and industry para lang magkaroon ng partnership business or partnership organization. So the partnership may either be a general partnership where the partners have unlimited liability for the debts and obligation of the business. So when we say general partnership, ibig sabihin po nito, yung partners have unlimited liability. Okay? For example, the business or the organization have liability from other entity. So, dapat nilang bayaran yon. So, they have unlimited liability. Kung ilan yung liability ng isang organization, dapat paghati-hatian nilang bayaran. Okay? Equally. While yung limited partnership naman, tinawag ka siyang limited because we're one or more general partners have unlimited liability. Again, where one or more generals have unlimited liability and the limited partners have liability only up to the amount of their capital contribution. So dito, yung mga general partners natin na kung saan they have unlimited liability, they can have or they can pay the debts ng isang organization or isang business, hindi depende doon sa capital na tig-contribute nila. Compare with limited partners wherein the liability is only up to the amount of their capital contribution. Ibig sabihin kung ilan yung contribution na binigay nila sa isang partnership, yun lang yung dapat yung babayaran niya na liability or ng losses. For example, yung contribution niya sa isang partnership organization is only 10%. So, dapat babayaran niya yung liability is for only 10% lang ng capital niya, hindi lahat And di lahat ng capital is dapat mapunta doon sa liabilities. Okay? So that is the limited partnership and the general partnership. So the partnership is dissolved upon the death of partners or partner when a partner chooses to leave. So it is easy class na ma-dissolve po ang partnership because once na may hindi mangyaring maganda sa isang partner, automatic class na madi-dissolve agad yung napag-usapan or yung kasulatan ng isang negosyo. Okay? So for example, hindi naman sinasadya na namatay si partner, then dissolve na agad yung partnership. Okay? So that is partnership. Next, we have another form of business organization, which is the corporation. So the corporation is up for 5 to 15 persons, wherein they call themselves as an incorporator or shareholders. So these incorporators or shareholders need to hold at least one share and are bound by the article of incorporation filled with the set. Okay, so dito, yung mga shareholders natin or the incorporators need to pay up a capital or total amount of capital received by the company from its from the shareholder in exchange of shares of stock. So you can call yourself as incorporators or shareholders once you buy the stock or once you buy the share of stocks in a corporation. Okay. So in a Philippine corporation, it must not be less than 5,000 pesos. So at least you have or you give at least 5,000 pesos to the corporation, and that is equivalent to your share. Okay? So yung corporation po can be stock and non-stock. When we say stock corporation, it has a capital stock divided into shares and is authorized to contribute the shareholders' dividend or allotment of the surplus profit on the basis of shares held. So ibig sabihin dito class, the capital stock that the corporation have can be divided or can be shared to the shareholders or to the other people from the corporation. Okay, so as much as possible, yung corporation para makapag-divide or makapag-divide or makapagbigay ng dividend from other people, at least they have big capital or they have lot of money para ma-divide yung mga shares. Okay, so when you say non-stock corporation, it is one where no part of its income is distributable as dividends to its members, trustees, or officers. So ito po yung kabaliktaran ni stock corporation because in non-stock corporation, there is where no part of its income can be distributed to as a dividends to the members of the corporation. So yun po yung yung ibig sabihin ng stock corporation and non-stock corporation. So now, let's proceed to the pros why corporation is good to have. Okay, so ano yung mga advantages ng corporation with other form of business organization. So these are the advantages. First is the unlimited life. Okay, so kahit po may hindi magandang mangyari sa isang incorporators or shareholders, still pwede pa din siyang tumakbo yung isang korporasyon. Okay? So if ever na hindi naging maganda yung takbo ng buhay ko, then bigla namatay, okay? So still pwede pang mag-operate yung isang corporation. So as long as hindi pa expired yung life ng isang corporation, they can perform their corporation. They can sell their product and services. When we say credibility naman, they are credible to the eyes of the people, because when we say corporation, it's a big group of people wherein they combine their money, properties, and etc. And it is very credible na they can give you, or they can give back the money that you put to the corporation. Okay? Kaya compare with the sole proprietorship and partnership na kung saan they have a limited um, advantages compared with the corporation when it comes to credibility, because of course the sole proprietorship and partnership is have limited people na kung saan they're not more credible to have a I mean to have a investment from lot of people in our society. Okay, so next we have ease of transferring part of ownership. So ito yung sa pinakamaganda or pinaka-advantage sa isang corporation because it's so easy class to transfer the ownership from other people. So for example, you are incorporators, then you decided to be not part of the corporation, then you can sell it to other people. So you will just assign a contract that your shares is already sell to the other people. So it is so easy lang. Okay, so it's up to you kung gusto mong pabili or hindi. Next naman is protecting personal assets. So when we say protecting personal assets, kung ilan lang po yung nilagay mong capital or money sa isang corporation, ganyan din po yung mawawala kapag nagkaroon po ng liability ang isang korporasyon. So, for example, may mga debts na dapat bayaran or mga liabilities na dapat bayaran ng isang corporation because of the preparing or preparing of other materials to have a product and services. Dito, kung ano lang yung ibinigay mong pera is katumbas din na mawawala sa iyo. For example, ang share mo sa isang corporation is only 5%. So if ever na may dapat ng babayaran, ang i-deduct lang sa iyo is only 5%. So dito, you protect your personal assets. So ganun po ang isang corporation. So now, let's proceed to the example of a statement of changes in equity. So the first thing that you need to do, of course, is to write the company's name and what kind of statement and also the year ended. Okay, so for example, given na po ito, to get the equity or the owner's equity, okay, for sole proprietorship po, ganito po yung mangyayari. So you need to first write the owner's capital, okay, which is, for example, January 1, 2016, you give 100,000 pesos. Then you need to add the net income for the year 2016 and additional investment. Okay, so for example, the given is 50,000 for net income and additional investment is 25,000 pesos. Then you combine it, we have a total amount of 75,000 pesos. Then once you combine the total capital with the additional investment, we will receive a 175,000 pesos. So yan yung yan yung binigay nating pera sa isang negosyo. So to get the owner's capital ending, so we need to less first the withdrawals of the year. So ilan yung kinuha mo personal money, ilan yung kinuha mo pera sa negosyo, ilan yung winidraw mo sa negosyo. For example, is 30,000. Ang mangyayari, you need to less the withdrawals to the subtotal of capital. So we will receive 145,000 pesos. So yan po yung magiging owner's capital December 31, 2016. So yan po yung ending inventory or yung owner's equity ng Learning is Fun Company. So 145,000 pesos. So tandaan, yan, ganito lang po kadali ang paggawa ng statement of changes in equity. So let's proceed let's differentiate the initial investment from the additional investment and define withdrawal. So as you can see, when we say initial investment, this is the first investment of the owner to the company. Ibig sabihin, ito po yung unang binigay na pera ng owner sa isang kumpanya. When we say naman additional investment, we just increase the owner's equity by adding investment by the owner. So for example, nakapagbigay ka na ng initial investment, din naisipan mo na dagdagan yung capital mo, yun ay tinatawag pong additional investment. And of course, when we say withdrawals naman from the word itself, withdraw, okay, ibig sabihin, nag-decrease to the owner's equity by withdrawing assets by the owner. For example, you withdraw money from the business, you get money from the business. Of course, bababa po yung owner's equity ng isang negosyo because nagkumuha ka ng pera doon mismo sa negosyo na yon. And that's what you call withdrawal. So next, we have the distribution of income. So when a company is organized as a corporation, owner called shareholders do not decrease the equity by way of withdrawal. Instead, the corporation distributes the income to the shareholders based on the shares that they have or the percentage of the ownership of the company. So when it comes to corporation class, paano nag-distribute ng income, depende din po sa percentage ng pera na nilagay niya sa isang kumpanya. Okay, for example, you have 10% of the share is from you. Ibig sabihin, 10% of the investment is mapupunta sa iyo. So ganun po yung distribution of income dito po sa corporation. So ito yung example ng a statement of changes in equity, which is from Learning is Fun Company. Okay, yan yung example natin kanina. Yung tinatawag po natin sa pinakauna, yan po yung heading. And next, of course, the owner capital noong beginning. Okay, then yung tinatawag pong additional, yan po yung increase to equity. Okay, of course, nag-increase yung equity natin. While yung withdrawal naman, yan po yung decrease to the equity. Okay, or decrease to equity. So ito po yung parts ng statement of changes in equity. First, we have the heading. So yung heading composed of 3, which is the name of the company, the name of the statement, and last, the date of preparation. So you always take note that you need to emphasize the wording for the. Okay, and the second part is increase to equity. Okay, so we need to go, or we need to write the increase to equity. We need to know the net income for the year. Okay, after that, you write the additional investment of the company for the year. Okay, then after natin sa increase to equity, we will now proceed to the decrease to equity. Okay, you just need to write the net loss of the year. So after you write the net loss, we have the withdrawals of the owner. Okay, then yan po yung parts ng statement of changes in equity. So now, yun po nauna, yun yung statement of changes equity in a sole proprietorship. So now we will proceed to the statement of changes equity of a partnership and a corporation. So for example, given na po yung mga details, okay? So for the partnership, of course, you need also to write the heading, which is the name of the company, what kind of statement, and the year ended, okay? So for to write the partners equity, you need to have depende po kung ilang partners kayo. So for example, you only 2 people in the business, you write partner A and partner B, or the name of your partners, yung name nyo. Okay, so of course, you need to write the capital. Okay, the beginning capital, which is the January 1, 2016. So ilan yung binigay ni partner A, ilan yung binigay ni partner B. Kasi of course, you need to total it. So lagay natin. Then after that, we need to add the increase in owner equity. So we write the net income in year 2016. So for example, merong 25,000 pesos and 25,000 then for partner A and partner B, we have a total amount of 50,000 pesos. Okay, then of course, after that, we need to write the additional investment. So for example, si partner A nagdagdag pa ng additional investment for the business now worth 50,000 pesos, while si partner B naman is only worth 20,000 pesos. Then after that, you need to, to add that additional investment and we have 70,000 pesos. Then you add this you add the capital to the increase to equity. Okay, then of course the next thing to do is to write the net loss or the withdrawal. So ililess po natin yung withdrawals doon po sa subtotal ng capital na inilagay ni partner. Okay, so for example sa withdrawal, si partner A nag-withdraw ng 100,000 pesos and also si partner B nag-withdraw din ng 100,000 pesos. Then you combine it, we have a total amount of 200,000 pesos. Then to get the capital or the owner's equity, okay, so magiging 75,000 po yung owner's equity po in year 2016, while si partner B naman is 95,000 pesos with a total amount of 170,000 pesos. Okay, so in year 2017, kung hindi sila magbigay ng additional investment, the beginning capital of the learning expand company will be 170,000, whereas si partner A may 75, while si partner B naman is 95,000 pesos. So ganun lang po kadali ang paggawa ng statement of changes in equity when it comes to partnership. So when we say the statement of changes in partnership equity, it is used by the partnership instead of statement of changes in owner's equity. So the difference between the two are the following. First, instead of owners partners, it's used to denote that this is a partnership. Next, there are two or more ownership in a partnership. Thus, the changes the capital account of each partner are presented. So ibig sabihin po, kapag gagawa po tayo ng partnership statement of changes equity, we need to put the names and the total numbers of partners sa isang statement. Okay, and also the net income is divided between partners. So not always equal. So depende po sa agreement kung ilan po yung hatian ng income sa isang partnership. For example, we have 60-40, 40-60, and etc. So depende po yan. Dapat pag-usapan ng partners. Okay? Now, we proceed to the statement of changes in partners equity. Okay? So, for example, ito po yung capital na binigay nila, 1 million. We have the share of issuance, which is also increased to equity, and the net income. They give 50,000 pesos, and for net income in year 2016, they receive 150,000 pesos. Okay, so after that, we decrease or we less the distribution of income, which is a total of 100,000 pesos. Then the total capital for the year 2016, December 31, is 1,550,000 pesos. Okay. So now, the statement of changes in shareholders' equity is used by a corporation instead the statement of changes in owners' equity. So tandaan, kapag maglalagay kayo ng heading, ilalagay po natin kung corporation po yung gagawin po natin ng SCE is dapat changes in shareholders equity. Okay, so the difference between the two are the following. First, the title. Instead of the owners or shareholders, it is used to denote that this is a corporation. So instead of owners equity, ang ilalagay po natin is shareholders equity. Okay. Next, there is an unlimited numbers of shareholders, but unlike the partnership, the names of the shareholders are not indicated here, but instead the corporation keeps an official list with a corporate secretary. So kapag gagawa tayo ng statement of changes in shareholders equity, we will not put the full name of the shareholder sa paggawa nito. Okay? So the capital account is called share capital. So ang tawag po sa capital na inilalagay po ni shareholders sa isang corporation is share capital. So just like owners being a shareholder. So instead of additional investment, they will call it as share issuance. Sorry, so ibig sabihin, it happens when the share are sold to the shareholders or they increase the share capital of the corporation. So yung para mas lumaki yung capital, or I mean yung pera or yung asset ni shareholders doon sa isang corporation, they call it share issuance, wherein they will buy more shares from other shareholders, or sometimes the corporation will increase the share capital of a corporation. Okay. Aside from that, instead of withdrawals, distribution of net income to shareholders decrease the capital of a corporation. Okay, so ang tawag po ng sa pag-withdraw ng isang shareholders sa isang corporation is it is what you call decrease in the capital of a corporation, wherein the net income. Okay, so nakadepende po kung ilan yung percentage ng share ni shareholders kung magkakaroon po ng withdrawals ang isang company. So that will be all. Okay, so if you have any questions, clarifications, suggestions about the topic, please don't hesitate to contact me through Messenger or through Gmail. Okay, so if ever na hindi naintindihan nga, you can visit our G Classroom para ma-explain, para mas lalo maintindihan yung topic natin ngayon. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Bye everyone!